Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signor. I'm so happy to be here for another edition of Change Our Minds Nerd Edition. We got some fun topics for you tonight. And I'm with my man, Jody. Jody, what's up?
YouTube was good. It's your boy, Jody Joe. I'm in the house to deliver an L on this edition of Change My Mind to Andy tonight. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Andy, for having me. Let's get this amazing discussion and dialogue
Wait
popping.
a second. An L already? You're telling me we're getting an L?
L's. I'm giving out L's before we even get them sheets shipped to us.
Well, I got something new.
You're on back order.
We were just talking about, because I don't want to just copy yin and yang, but sometimes I'm realizing we agree too much on the show. To really encourage the debate, to make one of us have to go against our own vision to go devil's advocate, I am establishing the Devil's Cube.
Oh, shoot. Ooh, very nice.
So
nice.
It's got 3 A's and 3 J's. So when we roll the Devil's Cube, if it lands on a J, that means Jody's going to be playing devil's advocate. If it lands on the A, Andy's playing devil's advocate. Make sense? So when we got a topic that we both agree on this show, we'll pull out the cube. We each got a half 50-50 shot at getting one of our initials. When it lands our initials, you'll know. Unlike yin and yang, every time I'm like, which one's yin, which one's yang, who's got which? Now it'll be like, Andy.
Don't criticize my product.
Boom. Jody. Boom. No, I know. It's like a peace and love, yeah. So, all right. So we have a couple topics tonight. Thank you. I see so many people in the chats. What's up, everybody? All the members. Nock Shadow. What's up, my man? Joe Frisco. Bunda. Bolide. All my members. I love you guys. K-Dots. And we got a lot. And Yash. I got Bobo. We got Christian. Crazy Uzo in the building. Turbo Justice. What up? So many people. Ashley in there. Hey, Ashley, what's up? So many of you. Thank you so much for coming back. Jacob. Marcus, there are so many of you, but thank you so much for tuning into us. Always supporting. I appreciate it. Let's give you some fun tonight. You guys know how it goes. Jody, I noticed nobody's doing Streamlabs. So I think I adjusted both my Twitch notifications and my Super Chat notifications so you can still unleash them, and yet the alert should happen finally. So I'm told. I tested it. So hopefully if you guys support throughout, even if you do a Super Chat because you can't resist during one of these fights, it should pop up on screen. That's my goal. And then we go over Twitch. Some of those will as well. All right, but Jody, everything going over well in your neck of the woods, in your corner?
Man. Thanks, man. You know, this Corona Light thing is the
Bud Light
becoming normal for me. Yeah, the Bud Light is becoming normal.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm kind of getting used to this shit, man. That's weird, but I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
I don't know if getting used to this is a good thing.
Well,
but I hear what you're saying.
If it's around for a few years, I don't want to be against it. You know, I just want to be able to go with the flow.
I hear what you're saying there at that point. But yeah, I mean, it sucks to get used to such a thing. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying in that it's like, okay, we're here. I mean, it's weird because in Florida, people are leaving, going, doing more stuff. We'll see what happens. But we're here to entertain you from all that drama. So let's get to let's have some fun. I got 2 main topics, a couple other extras, and then you guys can dictate as we go. 2 main events for the show. The way I usually do this is YouTube. If you watch, we are just live every Tuesday night, but then I trim it because of YouTube's algorithm. Blame them, not me. I may put the whole show on for members only, just to have it, but then I will put out each episode basically on after the fact. So tune in, check out. You'll see it. K-Dots, thank you so much. Jody imagines there are black emojis. It's us. Imagine these are black emojis, and imagine they're us. There you go. Okay, there you go, Jody. Okay, are you imagining that? He's deep into it. I don't know why it didn't pop up. It was. Oh, there it did. Yay, it did. It was just on a delay. But there it showed up.
I tried to delete that comment, but it wouldn't delete. Oh my god. Okay.
That one. The emoji one.
No, just. Nothing is fine. I can't delete my own comments. Just found that out live, but that's okay.
Wait, wow, I want to see it. I can't see it.
You can't see my comment? Cool. Right. That means no one saw it then. Good.
Jody said something. Oh, man, I'm sorry I missed it. But there you go. It was delayed, but it did show up. A Super Chats finally came on here. But I think it's above $5 or more the text comes. Otherwise, it just says you donated. So thank you, K-Dots. All right. Let's do this, shall we, Jody?
Yes, I'm down, bro.
We are first topic up. Is it there? Did I do it? Yes, I did it. I did it correctly. Thank God. We're all prepped. All right. So you guys didn't read this. It still pisses me off. Or I don't know if you did it or YouTube effed me up, but this views, when this video went live about this exclusive about the Boba Fett project, it had 0 views for like the first hour and then had like tons of likes. It was doing well, but then eventually the views carried over and it never picked up. And so it's like, Every time I do exclusives, they just they never get promotion. Not giving up though, Jody. I'm gonna keep trying. But anyway, on the this is a reminder. In fact, I'm gonna put the little iCard in the top this corner. Where am I? This corner. It'll be over there. See where I'm pointing? Blue. I'll put the eye corner later if you guys haven't already watched this. Go watch the Boba Fett exclusive. We talked about this, that the fact there's a movie and a series in development. You can also just go to fandomwire.com to read the article. But in honor of that scoop that we dropped yesterday, and we may have another one for tomorrow that'll drop Thursday, that'll pivot to Thursday's Nerd Wars. But in honor of this one, I wanted to start. We talked about this a bit over on Jody's Corner. If you guys aren't subscribing over there, I don't know what you're missing. You should already be there, of course.
Subscribe, baby.
But subscribe to Jody's Corner, because we had a chat. I popped into his chat, his stream last night. But I wanted to sort of really actually fight this out with you, because we talked about it, and I think we were going to both agree, so we'll bring out the Devil's Cube if we need to. But look, they're developing more Boba Fett, and Boba Fett is reportedly going to appear in The Mandalorian Season 2. I don't think Mandalorian needs Boba Fett. Personally, I think this is something that it's just like, why we have a great Mandalorian Boba Fett. I mean, already in Din Djarin. Why would we want to sort of risk rocking the boat to have another one? So I worried you agree with me. Yes, Jody?
I agree. So we're going to have to use our, we're going to have to roll that dice, bro, because sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we can't fight everything on Change My Mind. Sometimes me and Andy agree. To be honest, I think most of the time me and Andy agree. We really have the same opinion on a lot of these films. So we often, and it sharpens our tools, because when we have to fight the other side of something that we believe in or agree on, it sharpens us and it keeps us on edge. And that's the more challenging thing to do, is to argue about something that you don't believe in or you don't agree with. This is the whole point of, yin and yang. And now with this dice roll thing we're going to do, playing the devil's advocate.
The Devil's Cube. We're installing the Devil's Cube here on Change Our Mind. So in order to see if we can try it, exactly what we said, let's see if we can change the other person's mind by arguing the other way. If it lands on A, that means I will be the Devil's Advocate. If it lands on J, that means I'll be the Devil's Advocate. So Devil's Advocate meaning you will go against what you just said you believe in. Are you ready for the roll? It is an A. An A. That means I have to fight the Devil's Advocate on this and say,
all right,
I will go against what I believe on this and say, no, we need Mandalorian here on, we need Boba Fett rather in the Mandalorian, and let's get into it. All right, so let's fight this out. In fact, impromptu nerd war now officially. I'm mixing all my brands. Who cares? But here we go. All right, so Jody, ignore what I just said earlier.
Sure.
The Mandalorian absolutely needs Boba Fett, because where else would you put him? We have a Mandalorian bounty hunter. He's got the same outfit. Now, imagine if Boba Fett comes in and, he's sort of this legendary Mandalorian lore. But then Din Djarin knows this guy is a clone imposter. He's not a Mandalorian. He doesn't deserve that armor he's wearing. He is a fraud. I need to take this man out. Enough is enough. I'm sick of this bounty hunter taking all of the cred for Mandalorians. You did not deserve it. And we get to get we get to get that fight. And that is where, you know what? If he's going to come back, that's where I'd want to see it. Din Djarin taking Boba Fett out, finally showing Star Wars fans that this character isn't as cool as you think. He's a dippy, dumb character. Actually, finally decapitate him, kill him, leave him as a trophy, and finally use this opportunity to make it clear that Star Wars doesn't need Boba Fett. The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, is now our bounty hunter. Now that as I'm saying it, Jody, I'm changing my own mind.
The Mandalorian doesn't need Boba Fett, but I thought that was supposed to be me saying that. Weren't you supposed to argue that they need Boba Fett, and I'm supposed to argue that they don't need it?
They need him to have the exchange of it. Just said, if we're gonna have him in the universe, they need him because I want to see. I want to see the Mandalorian. They need him because they need him in there so they can kill him. I need him because I want to see him back. Let's get it over with. We know the fans, yeah. But he's going to show up to give the Mandalorian that notch that we really want to show. Like, bam, you're dead. I don't care, but we don't need you, Star Wars fans. See, you didn't need Boba Fett. They need the character in Mandalorian, not anywhere else. But we need him in Mandalorian to show up and shut them up and prove that Din Djarin is the boss. Din Djarin is the Mandalorian, is the bounty, and this Boba Fett nonsense will finally be put to rest, where people will see him as the dumb character that he is, because Din Djarin should take him out. But come on, absolutely, I want to see that showdown, and I want to see Din Djarin win.
Can you show me your action figure of who Din Djarin is?
No, this is Boba Fett.
Okay.
This is a Boba Fett. Yeah, this is Boba Fett.
You.
Come on, don't be stupid. I have a Boba Fett figure from in Disney Infinity. But my point is, people are confused. I'm just saying, I'm switching my...
I don't know who Din Djarin is.
Din Djarin is the Mandalorian. It's his real name, Jody.
That's his Mandalorian given name
in
the show?
End, they reveal that at the end when Giancarlo Esposito is Din Djarin but from Mandalore, and he's reading and reveals his name.
Dang, okay, tight. You got his name out like that, like they've been saying it throughout the whole show. Tight. Strong fan you are. And it's weird to me how you being a strong fan that you are, that you would have to take this stance of why we would need Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, because we don't. And I gotta break it down. I mean, what can I say? The Mandalorian is a show that nobody outside of Star Wars fanboys saw coming. Star Wars fanboys thought it was going to be great because everything Star Wars is great to them. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the general public, including myself, at a time where, let's keep it 100, at a time where Star Wars was almost dead, looked down upon, didn't even want to think about Star Wars because of those stupid episodes 7, 8, 9, Han Solo, all that crap in Rise of Skywalker, bro. Mandalorian comes out on Disney Plus and knocks it out the park. And me, myself, I could say I was so down and I was so negative on Star Wars at the time when Mandalorian came out on Disney Plus. I watched it. I was like, wow, this reminds me of classic Star Wars. The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, you say, played by Pedro Pascal, that Mandalorian show is more Star Wars to me than anything that I've ever seen Boba Fett in. So the fact that we're even talking about Boba Fett, when I saw him die on accident from Han Solo killing that jetpack, he got swallowed and devoured for a millennia of years, digested, bruh. But they tried to bring him back because the fanboys said, we want him, we love him. So they tried to bring him back. All right, for sure. How about we stop doing what the fanboys want? How about we start doing what regular people want? People who put into society, who have friends, who go out on social dates, who are out and not secluded to their freaking basement. People who actually have the common sense of things when it comes to living in our society. Let's start to get those level-minded type of people's opinion. And guess what? It's those level-minded type of people's opinion that is bringing Star Wars back, because it's help me out, Iron Man 1 director, Cowboys and Aliens. Help me out. I always draw a blank on his name. Jon Favreau. When Jon Favreau came in and showed nothing but love to the Mandalorian and gave us that breath of fresh air and threw air into our lungs, and we were starving. We were freaking dying and suffocating as Star Wars fans. It brought new life into it. Mandalorian did that, not Boba Fett. And to be honest with you, I learned more about Mandalorians and I learned more about bounty hunters in Mandalorian than I ever did in the original Star Wars trilogy, because guess what? They didn't mean jack squat in the original trilogy. They were goofball, douchebag pieces of shit that could be disposed at any moment and we wouldn't care. So yes, the Mandalorian has made a success on his own. Yes, with the help of Baby Yoda, but their dynamic is epic, has carried Disney Plus into a great spot where I think Disney Plus, their only successful primetime awesome show is The Mandalorian. Mandalorian season 2 is coming. We do not need a washed up, dead, but somehow resurrected Boba Fett to come and try to save the day.
Well, no, but you're wrong, because now the more I think about it, look, because I'm trying to remember the lore of the prequels, right, for Boba Fett. His dad, Jango, he was a clone, but that doesn't mean he's not a Mandalorian. That if I verified, he was raised by Mandalorian warriors following the death of Jango. So he was just like Din Djarin. So we have this iconic bounty hunter that we've known in the world, that everyone sort of knows, Boba Fett, which I would argue is an overrated character. We never really got to see much of him. But now that we have Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal, aka the Mandalorian, I don't want this. Thank you for the donation.
I don't think Mondo would have beef with Boba for being a fake Mandalorian, considering Mondo wasn't even born on Mandalore, and the idea that being a Mandalorian is a mindset. Way of life.
Yeah, so I was just about to say thank you for that support, for real. I appreciate that. And you're actually perfect timing, because as I was about to say, it is a way of life, and he was raised by Mandalorian hunters, or warriors rather, to know the way of that sort of the way. He's got the insignia, his own. Like he is technically really now a Mandalorian. So Star Wars fans, he is the Mandalorian, not Din Djarin, right? So it does make sense that you would need to have these two go toe-to-toe just from a respect standpoint, from a legacy standpoint. Look, you can argue, oh, he's dead, he went the Sarlacc pit, whatever. Okay, if he's not dead, because we saw him fall in this pit, but if I don't know how that thing digests things. It could have just been he's in armor. He could have had to lose a lot of his armor to crawl out of that teeth and then somehow shot his way out. He had a blaster on him.
No.
He had a blaster on him. We did not see anything else that happened down there. He could have crawled his way out. That could have, like in Rise of Skywalker, could have been quicksand underneath it. Who knows in the world of Star Wars? So, dumb, maybe, but could it have happened? Absolutely. So he clearly gets out. And now he's sort of out there and he's frustrated. And now there's this other Mandalorian who's now walking around, stopping Din Djarin is now the known bounty hunter. So it's like, I'm curious, does Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal, know of Boba? Like, is Boba Fett known in this world because he's working for Jabba? He's doing some legit things. Like, would he be one that he would know? Do they have a history together?
I don't get where
There's
you're going
something
with this,
interesting about that.
You're trying to give him life, but I'm not buying. Where does it make sense that Boba Fett is needed in The Mandalorian? Yeah, you're talking about this and that, but none of that is making any sense, Andy. You need to help me out. You're not selling me here. I don't think you're selling the chat either, man.
Well, but my point is, we all know who he was. He was the Mandalorian bounty hunter that we've all gone down. Now, overrated or not, there's action figures of him. They've made tons of them. There's T-shirts. He's all over the place. He is a character that Star Wars fans know, whether we like that or not. He is a popular character.
You do realize that that's a huge argument there, though, Andy. I never seen him trained by any Mandalorians, and he is a clone. So,
well, here's the chance to give us that backstory. And I'm looking up online from Star Wars, the Wikipedia on Star Wars. He was Jango Fett was a renowned Mandalorian bounty hunter, assassin, mercenary, and the father of Boba Fett, a generic clone of his, whom he raised as a son. A human from Concord Dawn, Fett was adopted by Mandalorian warriors following the murder of his parents and disappearance of his older sister. So my point is, the same thing could have happened to Boba.
Okay.
So my point is, Boba could have been.
But we already got that story with the Mandalorian. We don't care or need that for Boba Fett.
But my point is, we've seen all those Mandalorian hunters in the show. So the point is, they absolutely could have that. They could have in the Mandalorian. There's not just Din Djarin. There's the guy with the jetpacks. There's the guys with the machine guns. Yeah. There's a bunch of them. So the point is, this popular character to many, maybe not us, maybe not member of the chat, but you can't deny Boba Fett was the known Mandalorian for a long time. To have him come back and go toe-to-toe with our Mandalorian now and lose would absolutely be worthwhile, because that's really showing us.
I'm 100 with you, man. I did not know that. I didn't know what a Mandalorian was until the Mandalorian show came out, and I watched all the Star Wars movies, bruh. The Mandalorian term was foreign to me a year ago, bro. It's because of this Mandalorian Disney Plus series that I knew that bounty hunters are a race of Mandalorian. I didn't know that shit, and we sure as heck didn't know that back in 1980s, 90s when the freaking original trilogy was airing on TV and shit. We didn't know that. So Boba Fett.
Well, they did the animated series gave you more Boba Fett too. No, the Christmas special. Sure. But they didn't give him much to do. That's true. But
who's the one that gave the depth and the meat? It's the Mandalorian. It's
sure, because Boba Fett was never given that opportunity. I agree. They didn't have as much. They didn't have 8 hours to sort of dev into his life. So that's unfair. If we actually deved into his life, we might learn more about it. He's lost his father, etc. He's got a story potentially as heartbreaking as.
He's going to ruin the Mandalorian. Not Din Djarin. That Boba Fett is going to come in the show and ruin it for Din Djarin. Take all the spotlight. Take all the shine.
No. Now, yeah, he could.
Star Wars are going to root for him.
He could, but that's my point. Because the fans of Clone Wars and everybody know way more about all this than you do, clearly.
Yes.
And so my point is, the Mandalore history, that's all going to come into play in season 2. Oh, sorry, hiccups. Whether you like that or not, that's happening. So for Boba Fett to get out and have a live action showdown to finally give Boba Fett a little bit more backstory, to know what actually happened, where did he come from, giving that character a little bit about it would actually be fascinating.
Right now, I saw him die. They're bringing him back 30 years later. Nobody cares outside of the Star Wars fanboys about no Boba Fett. Don't nobody care about him. I know you're trying to make an argument up for him, like, yo, he's this, he's that. In the comic graphic novel that was rewritten and Disney threw away, but now they're trying to bring it back, he's a this and a that. You know what? That's fine. He had his chance. He had his time. Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, he's making new lines of fans. He's making a new timeline of himself that he is bringing on his own. Him and Baby Yoda.
I agree, but hold on. I'm not disagreeing with you. You're not listening to me. And thank you, Knock Shadow. Knock Shadow sending it over on the Cash App. The Cash App. You can hit up Jody and I through the Cash App. Thank you guys supporting. You can send that anytime. The cash sign. Just ignore Cash sign Jody. Jody's Corner. But you can do that. But thank you so much for giving. And he says, for what epic thing this Boba even do? I don't understand. Look, thank you, Knock Shadow. And I understand what you're saying, Jody. But let me just be clear one more time, and then we can wrap this one up. I agree. He's not my favorite character, but he's a lot of fans' favorite characters.
Not just favorite character, and keep it a buck. He's whack.
But a lot of people like him and made up backstories or whatever and thought, wow, who's this cool bounty hunter? What's his backstory? There's every character in the original trilogy has that. So my point being, thank Knock Shadow. What epic thing did he do? He looked cool and he sort of did stuff. He didn't really give them anything epic to do, is my point. But he's been known longer for decades as the bounty hunter in Star Wars. Now, Mandalorian, I agree, has come out and we've learned about him and I like him much more interesting. I agree. But what I'm trying to say is we do need him because there's still a lot of fans who sort of defend this character. And I want to see that put to bed, Jody.
That's your reason
I want to see that put to bed
because
I want to see this character lose to our Mandalorian so we can finally put this argument there and the fans know for sure that who cares?
You lining up with the fans for sure.
I want to line up to finally kick him in the butt so we know, no, we're actually following the better Mandalorian. Let's put this to rest so we can have an interesting thing. We can learn a bit more. Then we can kill him. I don't care what they think. I want to be able to know who won in a fight. Din Djarin kicked his ass. I want to be able to have that fact, and I think that's why they need it. That, to me, would be worth it. That would be fun to watch. This whack bounty hunter get schooled by Din Djarin. Yes, please. Sign me up to watch him actually die officially on screen, decapitated, whatever they got to do. So it's done deal.
I bet this $500 microphone I'm talking on and all the jizz that is left in my nutsack for the next 6 months that Boba Fett is going to freaking not going to take an L to no Mandalorian, bruh. They're talking about giving him his own show and movie, according to your source. Yeah. So you think they're going to bring in Jango Fett?
Yeah.
This is what you think.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to give us a they're going to give us a prequel movie.
Bring in Jango Fett from the dead to the Mandalorian and have the Mandalorian wax him all while Disney's planning to give him his own show and movie? Nah, bruh. You need to flip that around. Boba Fett's finna come and serve Pedro Pascal up, just like everybody else has been serving Pedro Pascal up in this series of season 1. And they're gonna throw him to his new show with all that hype to get more ratings and more money, bruh. They're about to put Pedro Pascal's Mandalorian through the ringer, bruh. They're about to disrespect him off of a freaking character that should be dead.
No, you please some fans. You do a prequel series to see how he got out of that pit because everyone wants to know. And then you get him to go toe-to-toe and lose. Now, maybe he doesn't get murdered, but we get a clear winner in that fight, and he zooms off, and the fans can be like, oh, okay, whatever. That way you can please it. But that's how you do it. I want to see the Mandalorian that we know and love now destroy this guy. I don't want this guy to be the Mandalorian out there because there's always going to be Boba Fett, blah, 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 blah. Enough. This is an opportunity to finally put that to bed. I would like to actually see that scene. It'd be nice to see Boba Fett go up against Mandalorian.
Your argument is bring Boba Fett so we can learn, so the rest of the fans can learn to hate him like we do?
No, because I think it's a loose end that I'm fine with them tying, is what I'm saying. Because he's been around in other, extended universe stuff that they've decanonized, whatever. But my point is, he's been around. This whole he died in the Sarlacc pit. Sure, but Darth Maul also died, Jody. Darth Maul also died and has done amazing things in Clone Wars.
Bullshit Reddit, get off. Take Andy's Italian sausage out your mouth because we are fighting right now, and I'm hitting with this logic, bruh. I know you don't like me. I don't give a freak. Stop with the bullshit bias sheet. We are fighting. You come and fight me then, motherfucker. I saw you freaking caved in on Twitch. You were trying to disagree with me, and Andy was questioning you and pressing you.
Are you talking about somebody else?
I don't know. You couldn't even stick to a single side.
I thought you were talking to me. Who are you fighting about now?
Yash, hash, trash. It all rhymes. What do you know? Freak out of here,
don't give him energy right now. Oh, I hate when you distract our fun fight to go yell at some...
You non-debate point-having motherfucker. Just come out.
Just because he said Andy wins?
A hair like the rest.
Fight over. Andy won next fight.
A couple weeks back. I saw that stream. Get the freak out of here, bro.
Anyway, commenter aside, the point being, I see, because there's people just want to see about. There are people that want to see him. Yeah, this is.
Don't hit me with that. You love me. Every freaking angle you try to come at me, disagree with me just for the sake that you don't like me. I don't give a freak if you.
He doesn't like me either. He doesn't like me either.
By his bullshit, bruh.
Okay, Jody.
He was over there on Twitch with you for an hour, and you were questioning him, and he couldn't even double down on what he was trying to say. He confused himself. Just say you don't like me or you don't agree with nothing I say, bruh. Just go with that.
They're allowed to have opinions on our debate. Jesus Christ. I'm going to say that. Whether he's being a jerk or not, he's been a jerk. He's absolutely been an annoying jerk at times. But he's also been supportive, but the guy's all over the place. But anyway, stay here. Focus on me. He's all over the place.
Step to me, motherfucker.
Here's where we go. Stop reading the comments, Jody. Focus on me. I'm right here. Look at my eyes.
Tell him to stop.
Right here. Look at me. Right here. Right here. This is all that matters. I have a camera right here, Jody. Look, I'm looking at you. Hey, Jody, look at this sexy beard, too. I got a little one. Anyway, look at this character, Boba Fett. All the Yashes out there. To all the Yashes out there, I want to decapitate this guy so they don't have an argument anymore.
He's trash.
Enough of Star Wars fans trying to debate this guy over our Mandalorian,
Andy,
who's a badass.
How did he win? How did you win, Andy? I'm hit with his logic. All you're doing is doing
logic? What logic are you leaning into?
The logic is
it's an opinion.
No track record. He was killed early.
Track record?
Yeah, what's his accomplishment?
He kidnapped Han Solo, got him in carbonite. He delivered.
Han Solo killed him on accident.
He got him in carbonite, though. I guess there at the ends, didn't he? I don't know. You're right. Look, Han Solo does give up. It was really Lando who gave it up. Right, Lando got him in carbonite, not Boba Fett. Boba Fett really didn't do anything. I agree.
He has done nothing. He's a side security guard with a pistol, bruh. Luke chopped it in half with his slow chopped it in half. But the bounty hunter is a guard. He's a goofball. He is a nothing Star Wars character, but nerds like Yash want to bring him back and have him right. What? And then that's all you riding on. We need to get him into the show so we can let the fans know that he's not good. And that's how we winning over here. Dang, that home court advantage is thick.
All right, time. There you go, audience. Hey. Andy or Jody, who won? And then I'll reveal my true feelings on all this.
Unbelievable.
Andy or Jody, who do we want Boba Fett back or not? Now we'll go vote. Chris, are you watching? Can you throw another vote in there? Those are fun. Those vote things I guess or K-Dots or anybody. You can throw in a
poll.
Yeah, the poll. See that poll. See, I'm curious how deep they are over here because. Dude, I always lose on your channel too. I don't lose my shit.
No, you don't. No, you don't. This is hostility, homie. This is hostility.
Oh, you were such a drama king.
You want to call drama king keeping it 100 how I see it?
That's sure. That's keeping it 100. Keeping it 100.
Is Yash confused?
Yash is confused about everything we talk about, but I don't want to give Yash. I don't want to give Yash more airtime, Jody.
You don't want to give him airtime?
No.
You want to put him on your channel with his thick and his clear glasses.
No, he's not on our show right now. You've given him more time than he's deserved on this stream.
You're the one that puts him on your channel.
What? No, I put him on a Twitch stream. I put him on a Twitch stream. It doesn't live forever. It's listed
on your videos.
I put any fan on who wants to talk and fight me, and I fought him for an hour. I don't hide from the fans unlike a lot of I don't Jody, and I'm not. This is not a diss at you. It's a diss on somebody else. I don't make my fans pay me to engage with them. I interact with my fans when they want to, just because that's the kind of person I am.
This is what you need. Look, trust me. You got kids. You got a family like me. All stress ain't good stress. You don't need to be. You wasted a whole hour of plasma, of energy, and life on Yash. I saw that. I wanted to freaking reach through the screen and choke him because he was just talking and he didn't make any sense.
I don't disagree with you there.
Sitting there for an hour, still trying to poke at him. You should have been disconnected, this motherfucker.
Josh, seriously, I need to see a super chat. Otherwise, I'm cutting you loose. Is that what you want me to say, Jody?
Hey, why is he around? Why? What does he do? What's he do? How's he help? He's like Boba Fett. That's why he likes him. He's just like Boba Fett. He's just like Boba Fett. Why are you around? You ain't doing nothing. You just sitting there. Anyone. Jody, you lost, anyone. And then you invited him to say, how did you disagree with Jody?
Go vote right there. There's the link.
I think, well, what do you think? I think that everybody was like, so what are you talking about, Yash?
Do you want Yash to call in again right now, Jody? Is that how I shut you up? Oh, yes! Bumbo! Oh, I thought it was Yash. Dewey Radio, thank you! Purple Rain! Boom, boom, boom! Great show. Love Nerd Wars. Joey's, you always bring your A. Yes! Now, Dewey is a true fan. I love you, Dewey. He's been supporting a lot. By true fan, I just mean he's donated a lot. So I know he really cares. Dewey Radio, Dewey Ray Ford, rather. Thank you so much for that. That's very, and you did it through, good for you. You did it on Streamlabs. That's how you do it. You made it Purple Rain. Dewey, my man, bravo, dropping the 50. Oh, finally. It's been slow on some of these, so I got that means a lot.
Andy, just click it. Watch this sheet.
Oh, here we go. Let's click it together. But Dewey, for real, thank you so much for supporting that and coming in.
Thanks, Dewey.
I will get you on if you want to come on, call into the Twitch stream after the fact. You can absolutely join in. Oh yeah, that's right. Because I'm like checking out the Anyway, so the Twitch poll is here. Here we go. Boom, 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 and dude, it's literally 50-50. 51-49. Holy crap, look how tight. You're winning by 1%, Jody. After all that, wah, your audience, wah. I'm Jody. I always need to be right. Silence your commenters because I can't handle criticism. Wah.
Okay. So, hey, guess what Andy just did? I'm flaming y'all all night now. Andy just put gas in my tank. He just fueled my fire, bro. I am onslaughting with these motherfuckers, bro.
There we go. But Jody, you're winning. So there you go. Is that the trick to win?
Stop. Yash, stop. Just stop. Don't type no more. Because even when you type, it makes no sense. You're like that dog that's deaf and blind.
Let me read it. So people don't know. Because the only thing I hate about this, Jody, the one thing I genuinely hate about this is the people who are going to watch this later have no idea what we're talking about. And I do have people who watch later. But so to make sure, here's Yash is the commenter called in. So I'm going to read it in Yash's voice. I'm going to read it. Oh, come on, Jody. Don't get too heated. It's not like that. Even when this nerd war, it's about hearing the other side. That's how he speaks. He's very calm and collected. So come on, Jody. Jody, it's night. Come on, Jody. What are you talking about? Be nice.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite.
It's a nerd war. Come on, Jody. Right? Does that feel like Yash?
That sounds just like him, except make less sense.
That's mean. The only thing I can agree with him is a nerd war. People in the comments are going to always disagree with us because they like certain people's. But look at that, man. It's not just Yash is the bottom line. 50-50. It's literally a tie right now.
50, my nutsack. You got this right here with facts. How did you get 50% of the vote, Andy?
I don't know, because here's the truth. Here's the truth. I agree with you.
No.
This character sucks.
That bullshit you said all night.
Well, can I pull back the curtain, Jody? Jody's absolutely right. You guys gave it 50-50 because look, but now I actually kind of agree, Jody, with myself because look at these Boba Fett suckers. Look at these Boba Fett.
Where's your gold tooth?
They love this Boba Fett. Why? He's done nothing.
You're a con man, Andy.
Well,
You're a swindler.
It was the devil's advocate cube. Don't be a jerk.
Man,
I fought it because I had to. But my point is, and it's weird because I didn't actually believe this because I remember, guys, I did the devil's advocate cube. I was fighting against.
Insane.
Look at it, 50-50 vote. You guys, but I got to say now, my real true feelings. I agree with you because this character is nothing. He's dead. He did nothing. Who cares? We got to move forward in new directions. We can't keep tapping every supporting character who's appeared in Star Wars to get their own friggin' movies and novelizations and 10 comic books. They smartly made a new Mandalorian who's an interesting character, gave him a baby Yoda, fine, cool. I want to see that journey. I don't want to see more of this. We had him, people can like him all they want, but holy crap, who cares? Who cares?
I'm telling you, this Boba Fett fiasco reminds me of why I hated being a Star Wars fan. How the heck can you gas someone up so much who is meaningless like this? And look at this insanity that we're looking at over a trash character. But at the same time, Andy, here's the cold-hearted truth. At the same time, they downplay Mace Windu like he don't matter, like he ain't shit.
He's in Clone Wars.
Every time you bring up Mace, they try to tell you, who is he? He ain't nobody. When he did most of the shit in the Star Wars prequels, showed he was even stronger than Yoda and knew more about the Force than Yoda and anyone else did with the saber skills. They disrespect Mace. Why? Because he's black with a purple saber? What is it? But you gassing up the Boba Fett? Man, freak Star Wars fans, bro. I'm tired of these motherfuckers, bro. Freak all y'all.
I don't think people.
Shove that shit up your
I think Mace Windu's got a lot of fans. I think that's not fair.
No, he does not. Yeah, talk about Mace Windu in a forum and watch you get wrecked.
No, people like him because it's just Samuel Jackson. Like people like Samuel Jackson.
No, see, that's bullshit. Mace, see, even you're guilty of it. Mace Windu is one of the best Jedis we've ever seen. He's the most powerful Jedi.
He went out like a bitch, Jody.
How'd he go? Wow.
Because he went in unprepared. He didn't even understand what Anakin was doing. He was so short-sighted in his own hubris.
He won. He beat Sidious and got blindsided.
No, he didn't. He got fed the stuff, and he walked into his own trap. That was his own doing. And then it's like he didn't know.
For sure. I like that, Andy. He went out like a beach. How did Luke Skywalker go out?
Like a bitch.
He faded away from a universe away, but you don't talk about that.
He did the dust off the shoulder. Like he did a couple fun little things. He at least knew he made his own choice to do that. So while I don't like what Luke did, Mace got taken out by the Emperor. He did.
I'd rather die like Mace Windu than like Luke Skywalker. Using your energy and fading away.
I didn't mind the showdown with Kylo Ren. I disliked him giving up on everybody and going off to an island forever. And then
look at how Kylo Ren died.
He showed up. All of that is great. But my point is, I think you're under. I like Mace Windu. He just died like a bitch.
Kylo Ren died. Look at how Kylo died.
The other problem.
Look at how Darth Vader died.
The other problem with Mace Windu is they didn't really give him a lot to do. He's sitting around talking.
Look at how Count Dooku died. Count Dooku got played and beheaded by Anakin, tricked, bamboozled. Look at how Jango Fett died. He got his head sliced by
Ewan McGregor. That was one of the better scenes too in the prequels. I like that scene with Obi-Wan and Jango.
They do not give Mace Windu credit, but you guys gas up Boba Fett. Man, miss me with that bullshit. Y'all on my nerve with that shit. That's
I don't even know who you're talking to because Mace Windu. I like Mace Windu over
Star Wars
Boba Fett.
Who gasses up Boba Fett and he doesn't.
Yeah, but see, no, Jody. Boba Fett has decades over Mace Windu. It's the problem. He was out in the original movies. Like they were years before the prequels. No, but it's just history. Yeah, but before the prequels, before Mace Windu showed up in 99, he was in the 80s. So it was a decade, almost 2 decades, whatever it was, 15 to 18 years, whatever it was. My point is he's had more time.
Came out first.
He's also in the games, Battlefront and Clone Wars. Boba Fett he's earned fans through that. So you can make it racial or whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm not going to. It's your.
You're talking about video games.
But I'm saying there have been opportunities for the character to shine, and he's been around longer. That's why. But I'm with you. I don't understand why people care about him so much. I don't understand. He looks cool, but I think
you're defending it. You sound like you believe it too.
No, the Mandalorian gave us more of why we wanted to like him.
Said he has decades more. That don't mean jack squat toilet paper to me. Mace Windu has 25 times more the camera time as Boba Fett.
Sure, but he's just also Samuel Jackson with a purple lightsaber is really what he is. He's literally, it's like Samuel Jackson's doing nothing.
So he wasn't like the shot caller who said that.
No, he's a cool leader, and he gets a couple fight sequences. But whoa! I'm going to fight you on this. No, we'll change this. Dude, I like Mace Windu, respect to Mace Windu, but Jesus, Jody, he's just literally like every character he's ever played. He's just a calmer. He's just a little calmer.
Pick any Jedi you want, and I will fight you right now that Mace is better.
But I'm just saying, as a character, what makes him different than every other Jedi?
He's the one that sends the plot to destroy the Jedi. He's the one that said that Anakin should not be trained. He's the one that went head up, soloed Sidious, and defeated him without.
They all lost. They all were wrong. Even Yoda. They all got taken. He's just a smart guy, and I don't dislike the guy. But for you to, but to be fair, I agree he's done more than Boba Fett. But for you to lift up Mace Windu like he's some like star character, he's a fine character. It's cool because it's Samuel Jackson, and he's a great actor, but he's doing the same stuff I've seen him do a million times.
The most powerful Jedi. That's what he is.
Most of those characters in the prequels suck because George Lucas didn't know how to direct them. He didn't know how to write them. They all read stiff. It's true. Natalie Portman, even Ewan McGregor, they're all doing their best to act, including and Samuel Jackson, and they all it's all George Lucas's script and wooden delivery because they're working about
episode 3. I saw Yoda go head up with Sidious for like 15 minutes and lose. But Mace Windu made quick work of that dude in 5 minutes. That's what I saw. I saw Mace Windu murder Jango Fett. That's what I saw. I saw Count Dooku look at Mace Windu in the battlefield after he killed Jango Fett, and Dooku ran because he was scared.
I thought it was Obi-Wan who kills Jango Fett when he finds him in the clone place.
Mace Windu beheaded Jango Fett. Jango Fett. Yes.
I'm mixing it up because that's part 2. Part 2 is a blur to me. I thought it was Obi-Wan did it.
Boba Fett. He murdered Jango Fett in front of his son, Boba Fett, and Dooku looked down, and he left. He fled. When he saw Yoda, Dooku attacked Yoda, and then got up out of there. Mace Windu puts fear in people's hearts because he is that dude. This is just what we got from films. I don't know what this other shit people are talking about, but based on what George Lucas gave us, he let the whole world know that Mace Windu was the most powerful Jedi.
Well, no, I think
but if you bring up Jedi,
you
bring up Mace, they dismiss him like he ain't shit.
I think Samuel Jackson did a lot of that too, because he was sort of demanding, like, I want a purple lightsaber, I want this, I want that. He was trying his best to make sure that he was putting
George Lucas put him at the head of the council.
I don't think Lucas cared that much about those characters. I think he was more focused on some of those story beats, to be perfectly honest. And I think that's why it's, I'm sure you connect to him. I believe you connected to him, but I'm just saying that's why others didn't connect to him, because again, it wasn't the best script. It was not the best script. It wasn't the best script. Now, that'd be fair. He did some cool sequences. I said that. He's fought some more. He obviously would kill Boba Fett. He's a friggin' Jedi. But my point is, he did lose like a bitch. He was too arrogant. He lost his way. He didn't see through. If he lost like a beach,
then Luke Skywalker lost like a beach.
Okay. Fine.
Luke died.
Fine.
Luke
then we agree. So we agree then?
Hold on, I ain't done.
Fine.
I ain't done.
Fine, he did. Luke did too. Luke did too, Jody.
Kenobi died worse?
Who are we agreeing? What do I got to agree for you to admit that Mace died like a bitch?
Old man Obi-Wan Kenobi died like a straight mark, and he faded away on spot.
He did it. Obi-Wan, yeah, I agree. It's a weak ending, but at the same time, it's important. Obi-Wan does it to inspire Luke, right? That's why he does it.
Kylo Ren died like a mark.
Who did Mace Windu inspire? Mace Windu inspired Vader? I don't understand what Mace...
Hold on, I'm not done. I ain't done. Kylo Ren died like a mark, using his life force to bring Rey back, and then died. And then Sidious died like an absolute beach. Got his skin peeled back by Rey. What are we talking about here? Mace Windu had better deaths than all of them, including everybody's Star Wars fan wet dream, Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker went like a straight bitch, and so did Leia. So what are we talking about here? Leia died the same way. She said Ben and died on the spot. What are we talking about? People do not respect Mace Windu, and I can't stand it. But we're sitting here talking about Boba Fett? Mr. 3 minutes in 3 movies, Boba Fett? 3 minutes screen time across 2 films, Boba Fett. Disrespect is
But dude,
real.
there's 100 characters we could go. I mean, I could list 100 characters that are more interesting than Boba Fett. I'm with you. I don't understand why we went to Mace Windu.
You said Luke had a better death. Bullshit.
No, he didn't. No, I said he died like a bitch too. I agreed.
No.
I agree. You said fine, Luke. So we did. My point is, he died like a bitch because this all-powerful, the best Jedi, didn't know what he was walking into. I'm sorry. That was badly written. That was badly written.
Whoa. He did not walk into it. Anakin came. If Anakin was there, he wouldn't have walked into it. You got to get your sheet right if you're going to get in this debate ring with me, baby. Mace went there.
He knew, dude. He should have known. He should have known.
Anakin got in the ship and came after he defeated Sidious.
Which he should have known was going to happen, given how Anakin interacted with him.
What was he supposed to do? Kill Anakin?
There's the whole scene where he's like, you have to earn my trust now, or whatever. Like, back off, and tells him to wait. He should have known he wasn't going to wait. And then when he shows up, he's like, oh, you got us help and stuff. Of course he's not. Of course he's not.
All right, for sure. If Andy just said Mace should have known that Anakin wasn't going to wait and come and kill him, so Yoda should have known that Order 66 was going to kill all the Jedi.
Sure.
Nobody gives it to him. But look, Andy, nobody gives Yoda a hard time because of it. They give Yoda an automatic pass.
Dude, I wasn't even giving Mace Windu a hard time until you make this whole fight. And my point is, like, all these characters have weaknesses and strengths.
Star Wars.
That's all Star Wars.
Star Wars belongs to dweebs who do not think logically. I'm too real for this freaking franchise, bruh. Because motherfuckers.
Why do you watch it then?
Little niggas.
Why do you watch it?
Luke Skywalker's when Luke didn't do shit.
Why do you watch
Last Jedi?
Jody,
and they got their feelings hurt.
Why don't you just stop watching Star Wars?
I did stop watching Star Wars.
You talk about how you talk about the negative energy of my fans, but listen to your negative energy about Star Wars.
Energy of fans. I'm talking not just your fans, all the fans, bro.
But I'm just saying, why answer that in your life if you don't care? Just let it go.
They're the reason why Star Wars sucks. Do you realize that?
Well, but you could say the same thing about Snyder fans, right? They ruined DC.
No.
Every fandom has a bad fandom.
No, DC. Warner Brothers fired him. Gone. DC's in a better place. Star Wars still sucks to this day because of the fans. They're the reason why these movies suck. They're the reason. They're the fans. Andy, you were there. We're on YouTube. Many of our colleagues, John Campion, one of them, gassing up Star Wars, knowing it's trash. Last Jedi's
There's
good.
a lot of people who do the
Episode
opposite,
7.
though. There's a lot of people who are trashing on Star Wars and ruining it. And both, I would say both sides are pretty bad.
Trashing on Star Wars were not the people in places of power. Their voice didn't matter. The people who had positions of power, who had influence, were praising Star Wars like it was hot sliced bread with butter on top.
Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to. I don't understand. I want to listen to this because I want to make sure. I just don't understand. Star Wars has had up and down in its fandoms. The original trilogy has been lifted up and people loved it. Then there was like, oh, the Ewoks suck and Return of the Jedi. That's when sort of Star Wars fans started to turn on the movies. And then the prequels came out and they were not loved, Jody. They were not loved. I was there through those. I was one of the guys who didn't like it. People were like, what the hell's going on? Prequels did not go over well with most Star Wars fans.
No, yes, they did.
No.
I
loved them. No, that happened. The kids did.
Loved them.
The kids did, and the kids grew up.
No.
Dude, I was there in those theaters through all three of them. They were not into them. They were not. They were like a Phantom Menace. They were like, yeah, there were some cool parts. And then Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones is the worst Star Wars movie ever made. Attack of the Clones is garbage.
News crew, ABC 7, Fox 11, NBC, outside the lines, and all the fanboys.
Yeah, and they walk out. I've seen it too, and they go, it's okay. And they said, it's okay. I've seen it too, Jody.
It's okay. I liked it. Yeah, it was good. Most of them were saying it was good, Andy.
Yeah, no, if anybody does, when you walk out of a Star Wars movie, like, oh yeah, cool, I said it, but then you sit on it. You sit on a movie and you can change your opinion. And they didn't walk out of. They didn't walk out of it. They did not walk. Okay, well, you're different, Jody. Okay, Jesus Christ, Jody. You're like it's like impossible. You can't budge at all. You are delusional if you are telling me every fan who left Star Wars liked it. That is just a lie.
I'm telling you, most of the fans liked it.
Okay, so now you're changing it to most. I would argue no. I would argue that there were fans who liked it, but I would say there were a lot. There were a lot of haters who did not like it. Everyone I spoke to, people I interacted with, my life and people around me didn't like it. They just didn't. Especially Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones, they really didn't like, because that's when it started getting really sort of silly. Then Revenge of the Sith came out. Revenge of the Sith came out, and then they garnered more fans. And then as time, if you let me finish, as the time progressed, more kids grew up, more people, and the prequels have become more appreciative. I agree, but in that moment they weren't. Well, because I think more kids like those prequels. Honestly,
that's not why. It has
that's the ones they grew up with. No, I disagree.
About the prequels, you guys clowned midichlorians. You clowned George Lucas, stressed him out, and he sold Star Wars because the old heads were hating on the prequels.
That doesn't take away from the bad direction.
Because the new Star Wars sucks. That's the truth.
That is facts. Well, we didn't get the new Star Wars. That's where the real hate has really blew up to even more degrees. But my point is, the prequels, visionary, brilliant. I respect more of what he was building. But a director and a script, like a dialogue writer, they're terrible. They're terrible. He's not a good screenwriter. He's not a great director. He's an amazing producer, visionary, creative genius. But he always works better when other directors come in and help him, his editor, his wife. He's better with collaborators. And when he was left to his own devices, watch those documentaries about him making a prequel. This will be fake. This will be fake. He was more interested in the technology than he was the movie. That is facts, Jody. And that's why those movies aren't fantastic. They're good. I've come back, but they aren't. They could have been amazing had someone helped rein them in. But whatever. They would have been so much better if someone could have reined him in, and he couldn't. But my point is, the hate really came out with the sequels. I agree. The sequel trilogy has now made hate from both sides, because you have these hardcore fans who are sort of forgiving a lot of mistakes. And then you have these people who refuse to even engage with it because they're like, well, women are in it and Kathleen Kennedy. And there's that. And there's people who are just like, I hate Star Wars now because it's not what I like. There's so many versions of haters now. And then there's the people who just it's just a mess. It's a war zone. So I agree now. Star Wars, even Daisy Ridley, all of them are all complaining about how much hate there is in the Star Wars fandom. So I don't disagree with you that the fandom is a powder keg, but I don't even understand what we were arguing about. What was the point? That their fandom sucks? Yeah, the fandom of Star Wars, there are a lot of sucking. There is a lot of trash in the fandom. I don't disagree with you.
The statement that I made was the reason why the Star Wars sucks and is trash now to this day is because of the fans. The Star Wars fans are the reason why Star Wars sucks. Do you agree or do you not?
I mean, I could make the same argument about DC with fans, to be honest.
Fine.
But I don't think DC sucks, and I don't think a Mandalorian sucks. So it's like, yeah, it's frustrating, Star Wars and DC and parts of DC are frustrating due to certain fandoms. I'll give you that.
Star Wars fans suck.
That's not true.
You know how I know? Because when Episode 7 came out, I was one of the few people who had a rant on Episode 7. I hated that freaking movie. But because it was very Star Wars-esque and had little tropes in there, it completely disrespected what the Force actually is.
I don't disagree with that.
Never would have signed on for that.
Dude, you're right. Dude, the sequel, that's my point.
But guess what the fans did, Andy?
The sequel trilogy. Well, no, dude. No, they didn't.
Only later,
dude.
Only later they came out and said they don't like Episode 7. Back in 2014, when Episode 7 hit, they were sucking its cock. 2015, they were like, 2016, they were like, okay, look, that's not really good.
I think the problem was Force Awakens could have been a fine Chapter 1. It absolutely could have been, had they actually had a plan.
And what happened?
I don't attribute Force Awakens as like the demise. It's the beginning of the demise because because 8 and 9 just completely fumble. We've hit this 100 billion times. Everybody knows this. But I don't understand what we're talking about. I agree. But I totally blame Lucasfilm. I blame Lucasfilm. I don't blame the fans because the fans were right. The movie was not very good.
The fans drove George Lucas to sell Star Wars, Andy.
He sold it because he wanted to make more money. He sold it. He was quoted as "This is my retirement fund." Is when he sold it.
He donated the proceeds. What money?
No, he has stake.
The money.
He has stake. He has stake in Disney. I will show it to you.
The money, $2 billion. He donated that. You don't care about the money. You drove the creator of Star Wars, the fans.
I love. This is hilarious. This is hilarious how Jody spins it. He's spinning George Lucas investing in Disney because that's my retirement fund, where he made billions. His and his children will make billions of dollars forever because now Disney can pump it out and he has Disney stock because he gave up Star Wars to buy Disney stock at such high levels that you and I will never even be able to comprehend. That is not a boo-hoo, poor George Lucas. Dude is making money for doing nothing for the rest of his life, as will his family, his kids. I would have taken that deal in a heartbeat than worry about how do I deal with the fans and what do I do, whatever. I'd rather make the money to have my thing.
Did that? All that crap you're saying about George selling out, you call him a sellout for money. You think
when did I say that?
You just said. He just sold his stuff because he wanted to. He wanted the money.
Yeah, because my point is he probably was just like, there was probably a part of him was like, I don't know how to make the fans happy. When he sold it to Disney, whoa. When he sold it to Disney, he gave them the treatments hoping they would go down his direction, and they didn't. Now that's Disney. That's my point. I would argue Disney has more to blame for this Star Wars fiasco than the fans, Jody, is what I'm trying to get at. George Lucas sold it, made money. Disney is the one who's ruining Star Wars.
You can't say George Lucas consciously sold that stuff for money and not call this fool a sellout, because he is on record multiple times, even so much to call them white slavers. I sold my product to white slavers. He regrets selling it to them, but he doesn't regret selling it. The fans drove him to sell his babies. That's the facts of the matter. He hated talking about it. The fans sucked the blood out of the man. All the creative juices, his reason for waking up in the morning to even think Star Wars, died because the fans were complaining about the prequels. Prequel this, what is this, midichlorian? Oh, remember what they was doing?
Oh, so wait. So you're saying the fans didn't like? So you're saying, Jody, the fans didn't like the prequels? Thank you. You are admitting that now.
A decade later. The hate came later.
You literally just spent 10 minutes fighting me. No. The fans come out of the theater. They loved it. I saw the videos. They loved it. You literally just contradicted yourself. Did the fans like the prequels or not?
You got wax in your ears? I said when it first came out, they loved it. Only years later, they started to hate it.
No, they love it. They love it way better now in the sequels. What are you talking about?
Years later, they started to hate it.
Years later, they hated it. Then years later, they liked it. So they liked it when it came out, and they like it now, but they hated it. Correct.
That's how trash the fans are, Andy. What's wrong with you? They loved it initially. This is how crazy they are. They all need to be locked the freak up. When it first came out, I loved it. Dressed in their freaking cosplay. Freaking idiots. I like it. 6 months, 8 months later. Oh, I hate them.
That's literally what I said. You're like, no, the fans loved it.
Prequels suck.
You literally are changing your argument.
The new trilogy comes out. This sucks.
We agree. I said that in my argument, Jody. I literally said that. I said when they walked out, they liked it. Their opinions changed. You fought me and you said, no, they don't. They loved the movies. And now you're like, oh, yeah, months later they did. That's literally what I told you. I can't stand when you're contradicting like that. That's literally what I said.
I said, look at the news reports when they were coming out of the theater. That means when it just came out. They loved it. That's what I said. I never said they always loved it. They started to hate it. They loved it, then they hated it, then they love it again. These are the fans we're talking about, Andy. Freak them.
Yeah, fans change their mind apparently just as much as you do.
Do you remember the Jar Jar Binks jokes? Do you remember the
Jar Jar Binks was a disaster. He wasn't a good character.
Bruh.
He wasn't a good character. I've watched it again with my kids. They don't find him funny. He's just a
go back on it now. I'll take Jar Jar Binks as the Sith Lord over what we got.
No, dude, when he's in the Senate, he's like, I'm a decent the Senate, the vote. It's ridiculous, Jody.
It was a disguise.
It is ridiculous.
Really the Darth Emperor.
Yeah, I've read that theory. It's so silly.
That's what he was.
It's laughable.
It's laughable how awesome that would have been when that nigga finally stood up straight and started talking regular.
Pulls the Kaiser Soze. All right, fine. I'm on for that.
That would have been fire. But the stupid Star Wars fans drove George Lucas down the freaking stress hole. He said, you know what? Freak you fans. I don't give a freak. And he's not the only one that does it. Harrison Ford hates Star Wars. He hates Star Wars fans. He hates Chewbacca. And he hates even talking about Star Wars because the fans suck.
Yeah, but it's like Shatner hates it. My point is, I can't even imagine what it's like for them. I can't even imagine what it's like for them. I mean, literally every day you're like, in episode 5, the 6, in movie 5, 4-minute mark with the notch of the Mandalorian. Blah, 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 blah. People are upset. And look, I'm not even trying to make those are our audience. I've been there. We've obsessed over things. I can understand how any celebrity is sort of sick of being a celebrity. And Han Solo is like, I just want to fly my planes. Leave me alone. I'm not a nerd. I don't care what this stuff is. But you know why I know he cares? Because he showed up for the last one. He didn't have to do that. He did not have to do that. Whether it was good or not, he showed up. You know why he showed up? I read that quote. He's like, I wanted to give Adam his ending. Dude's respectful. I respect Harrison Ford. I've seen him do these interviews. He's funny. He doesn't care. And I love that about him. He's not a nerd. He doesn't care about Star Wars. I hate is a strong word. I don't think he hates it. I just think he doesn't care.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't care about it. That's the difference. So it seems hate. But he's more, he hates like the nerds and the
go to YouTube
media.
and watch an interview of Harrison Ford.
I did.
And then
I
watch
watched
how
a bunch
good
of them.
the interview goes. No, watch 10 of them. And watch how good the interview goes.
He hates
they
junkets.
ask the Star Wars question and watch his face wrinkle up and shrivel.
Well, because he can't talk about it. And he's answered the questions a million times. Well, no, when you ask him about, are you going to be in Force Awakens? I've watched those montages. Like, yeah.
He hates it.
Yeah, because it's all they want to talk about. I get it. I would too. It's like a band. Like play that one song we know. Play that one song we know.
Talk about, because they talk about other things in the interview. Once they start,
and he's still grumpy, dude. That dude's a grump always. Is the point? Anyway, my point is, Shatner is an absolute dick, David. I've met the guy twice. He's a way bigger dick than Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford doesn't care. They both don't care. That's all I'm saying. Is the difference.
You know what? Sometimes we need somebody who's not going to waver to fans. We need somebody who's going to say,
I respect that with Harrison Ford. He's like, what? The guys
I
who
do
cares?
too. And I'm standing up right now. Freak the Star Wars fans. They're the reason Star Wars sucks right now, and I'm going to take that to my grave. Freak them. And that's why George Lucas said, freak them, give me my money. And Harrison Ford said, freak them, I'm out of here. And
well, it wasn't. He keeps coming back.
He
keeps coming back, Harrison Ford. That's the point.
The same Star Wars fans that went at the Asian girl and made her shut her Twitter down.
Man,
that hate Star Wars fans that came at that Asian girl and threatened her life and called her this and made her shut her Twitter down.
I can't put all fans in that same camp.
Star Wars fans are the worst fans on this planet, my dude.
No,
they're the worst.
Snyder Cut fans are the worst fans on the planet.
They don't count. I'm talking about the actual fan.
No, because I've seen worse fans and they're Snyder Cut fans.
Out of Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, who are the worst fans?
Yeah, but here's the point. Here's my point, and we'll wrap this up.
That's right.
But
you don't want to answer that question.
No, I'm gonna. My point is, Snyder Cut fans are the worst. But it's not all Snyder Cut fans. Just like, yes, I would put part 2 would be certain Star Wars fans. Absolutely. But not all Star Wars fans.
Franchise or a universe, please.
Eric Butts. I'm going to call out my friend Eric Butts, who's the guy who cries watching everything about Star Wars. I thought I was going to laugh at that guy, but secretly. And he came on the show and he fought. And he just loves Star Wars. And you know what? I respect the hell out of him because he sticks his guns to it and he loves Star Wars.
Y'all didn't even come at him legit. Y'all let him pass by.
My point is he doesn't want to fight it.
Y'all didn't even ask him the hard questions.
But my point is, He acknowledged certain problems. He acknowledged certain problems, but it didn't matter because it's just like he loves those movies. He's a kid. When he watches those movies, he gives them passes. He's gonna like it no matter what. And you know what? What's wrong with that guy enjoying those movies? He's not hating on anybody.
You loving something that I hate. There's perfectly nothing wrong with it.
So my point is, I can't hate him and say he's the worst. Now there are certain Star Wars fans that I absolutely would agree are definitely second best. But Snyder Cut, the toxic Snyder Cut fans are number one without a doubt. And then I would say some Star Wars fans, absolutely.
So he answered the question. Out of Star Wars, Marvel, and DC, Star Wars fans, we both agree, are the worst because they're dweeb.
Not including Snyder Cut fans?
Nerds.
Sure, I would agree. They're more angry.
Don't know how structure of film works. They just care about the product no matter how good or bad it is. Well, and that's exactly why Disney thought they were doing right. Because they said, well, if the fans love it, it's making so much money in the box office, let's keep it going. Kathleen Kennedy is trash.
There you go. No, but I would say Disney and Kennedy and the people involved in the movies, that's the real problem. And here's where I'm going to echo you because this is an interesting conversation. But I'm going to echo of they want to listen to the fans. They keep trying to do what the fans want. And then the problem is, though, the fans shouldn't be listened to. They shouldn't, which is what Ryan Johnson has said on record, and that's why I can't hate on him as everybody else does. I hate JJ more than Ryan Johnson in regards to Star Wars because at least Ryan tried something. Whether I liked it or not, I respect him for going against the fans and just doing what he thought was right. So that's my point of whether I liked it. I'm not saying I liked it all, but I respect the man for at least doing it against all odds. But yeah, Disney. They're the biggest failure, whether it's Kathleen Kennedy or Bob Iger, whoever the hell's responsibility is. They always cater to the fans and back up. Oh, wait, maybe we should go do this. Oh, wait, they don't like this now. Wait, I think they still like Boba Fett. Oh, let's make this. Oh, let's do this. This is this. That is the problem.
That's misleading. That's not the overall problem. It's going to come back to the fans, and here's how. If you're Kathleen Kennedy and you release a Star Wars film that is garbage, you release The Last Jedi. Let's use real life. You release The Last Jedi. It makes almost $1.5 billion. On top of that, every mass media, most of them, our colleagues, you know how many YouTube videos I saw of people saying how good The Last Jedi was, and they're at war with themselves, but they're saying, oh, it's good. Yeah, I liked it. It's like, if I'm Kathleen Kennedy, I release The Last Jedi, it makes $1.5 billion, and YouTube, for the most part, and news articles are saying how great it is. Why would I change? I can't blame Kathleen all the way because she's just giving what's working. If the stupid, idiotic, dumb Star Wars fans didn't buy tickets, then Kathleen, because that's what she cares about more than everything, is money. She follows the money. If they didn't buy tickets and suck the cock and buy the toys and buy the DVDs, then she would have been like, oh, this isn't working. And guess what happened after Solo came out? Oh, this isn't working. Let's leave Obi-Wan alone for a second and let's leave this. They started to make changes. You dumb freaking fans. It's y'all fault. Kathleen Kennedy will follow the money. Stop giving them your money. How did The Rise of Skywalker make $1 billion, Andy? Because of the motherfucking fans who saw it 15 times, knowing it sucked. How does Transformers make $1 billion when they sucked after the first two movies? Because dumb pea-brain motherfuckers who love mindless, senseless visuals. They're like keys with a baby, bruh. It's their fault. It is their fault. It's Kathleen Kennedy's fault, but above them is the motherfucking fans. Freak them.
Well, there you go. That's Jody's opinion. I hear some of what you're saying. I don't disagree. I want to get some of these chats. Bunda, Attack of the Clones has the saddest part, Star Wars, I guess is what he's saying. I don't know which part, but Wancho, thank you for the support. Lucas was doing a VFX breakdown. Yes, if you watch those prequel documentaries, he doesn't really care about anything but those things. And then we had, I think, 2 comments from Myra. Thank you, Myra. When Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, the fans were starting to come around over the prequels because of the Clone Wars cartoons, books, extended storyline. She then continued to go on and say, Lucas only regrets selling to Disney because they chose to erase the extended canon that he had approved and created. Yeah, look, I think I'm not disregarding. Just thank you all that for that support.
The scripts he gave him.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. And as I was just going to say in the outlines, so I don't disagree that he's not upset, and I don't disagree that he's not, he's showing up on the Mandalorian set. He's still there. He has stock in Disney. He needs it to do well, so I can see why he doesn't want to go too hard on them. But I can also see why he was like, look, I just want to get the money. I'd rather have stake in this and see what they can do with it and make it more commercial. I'm sure he was they're going to do it. But you got to remember, Lucas was a commercial guy too. If you go back, we've talked about this. He only made the prequels once he got the toy rights back because he wanted to make that money. I'm not going to knock him for it. Like, the dude wanted to make money. At the end of the day, he wanted money in addition to telling the stories and doing what he wanted, but he wasn't going to do it for his health. He was going to do it for profit. And he was smart when the first ones came out. He gave up his profit to get the sequel rights of the toys. So why wouldn't you want to then make sure you own that? That's why he made money with Disney, because he retained the rights to the sequel rights and the toys, which is really what it's all worth. If you can't make more movies or properties or sell merchandise, then you can't really make money off the movie. So he owned it. And that was the brilliant part of Lucasfilm and what he did. So I respect the guy tremendously. And it was a business deal. Why he left and what, I don't know. But he does seem angry. I agree with you. Was it the fans that destroyed it?
He's mad. He's mad of it all, bro.
I can't. Sure, that's a valid possibility.
Call them slavers.
I also don't know if he really cares. Like, if he's what he's doing these days. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe my point is, I can't
you don't spend 30 years on something, bringing it from the ground up to a potential $1 trillion empire. Have them buy it and then ruin and throw your scripts down the trash and ruin the character without being upset.
I've been in the smallest degree of that, of losing the
thing.
And
you're mad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have a right to
But my point is, I can relate. I'm no doubt he's angry, but there's certain points where I really don't care anymore. I want to make my own thing and focus on new things. Yes, there's days I'm pissed. I'm like, Jesus, what a waste they're doing this one or whatever. Of course, I have emotions about it still, but at the same time, I can still also feel like whatever. I don't spend my days thinking about it every day. So my point is, I can't speak. I can't speak. Sure, but I can't speak for what he thinks. But what you're saying could be fair. All I was going to say though is, it's Disney's fault equally, if not more so, I think, than the fans. I think the fans are just reacting passionately, and I think they had reason to be upset, especially with Last Jedi. There were a lot of choices made.
Andy. They don't like anything. They don't like the prequels.
The problem like the new
trilogy.
The problem is
like nothing.
The problem is nobody likes everything. We can't all agree. It's happening in politics. It's happening in Star Wars. We are a divisive, and now with social media, we all think we have a voice, and we all voice it, and we all think we're now powerful and important. That's really what's doing it. Back in the day when people didn't like a Star Wars film, they did it in their basement as a small minority. But now that small minority gets to go on Twitter and create a fan base, and now they seem like they're louder and do it.
Are united with Wonder Woman, with The Dark Knight. Some films are just too good not to hate, and if you hate them, you look like a hater. Disney and Star Wars did not make those quality level of films. And when it's up to interpretation and the fans don't get what they want, they shoehorn a black Mace Windu in there who's cool with the lightsaber, kills these people. You shoehorn Jar Jar Binks in there, don't like it, guns. They don't like stuff like that. Pod racing. Darth Maul in episode 1, the best lightsaber fight in Star Wars, period, belongs in episode 1 or episode 3, but they both belong in the prequels. Episode 3 is the most epic Star Wars movie ever made. Even more epic than Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back's a better made film. It's probably the best film of Star Wars, but the best Star Wars movies are episode 3 and 1 and Empire Strikes Back. Those are the best. Those are the top 3. Empire Strikes Back, episode 3, episode 1. 2 of those best episodes, in my opinion, exist within the prequels. The first, New Hope, is nothing. You don't know what it is. They just do shit. No explanation.
Wait, you're saying
Back,
Phantom Menace is better than A New Hope?
Yes, I think it's better. Just the civil, bruh. Qui-Gon Jinn,
fight. This is a whole other fight.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul fight destroys that whole film. I'm sorry. With that score,
I don't agree with you on that one. I don't agree with you on that.
I know.
I think Star Wars.
There's nothing in A New Hope that's epic, bro. Nothing.
Well, because you've seen it all a million times now. Because even JJ's redoing it 100 times. But
I still go back to episode 1. It has not been replicated yet.
It's boring.
It's
got so many boring parts, dude. All those council
the fight
meetings.
With Darth Maul and
it's one scene. It's one scene that I hold up as one of the best, and I agree. And there's stakes, and I don't have a problem with Phantom Menace. Everyone's losing their mind over Dave Filoni coming out talking about why the Phantom Menace actually and the prequels mean something. He's right. I don't have a problem. I'm not denying, but as a movie goes, the pod race scenes, it's just a kid's chase scene, and then you have a cool sequence of lightsaber battle, but it's a lot of star wipes and council meetings, dude. A lot. And it's just like, and Jake Lloyd is so too young. The weird, him and Natalie Portman as in her weird robot voice, and then she's always changing people, and you know what's going on. But it's like the movie is not written well. It's not. There's not a good finale at the end. It's just not a. It's a chapter one a story with a very cool theme song and fight sequence and a character that they killed off. But then they're like, well, no, I'll change our mind. He's not dead, just like Boba Fett. So I don't agree. Star Wars: New Hope builds a world, the characters. There's so much going on. Vader, dude, come on. It's not even
Vader's a big question mark. You don't know who he is.
Who's Vader but there's so much. Dude, I would take Vader in a heartbeat, force choking people than Darth Maul. Are you nuts?
Really?
Of course you
Vader didn't do shit in that
dude,
movie. That's
just because of the time. It was because of the time.
All right, I understand, and is it?
I got yeah. They made a cool sequence now with Obi-Wan and Vader doing it better.
Because of the time.
Yes.
You saw Rogue One. And he didn't do shit in there either.
Well, no, but he wasn't supposed to be in that movie, and then they added him later. But my point
I'm starting to think Darth Vader's just trash.
Because they made it in that year, in that time period, they didn't have the effects we have now. I don't think that's fair. The hallway I can't knock it because it's not CGI. Everything George Lucas added to those movies made it worse, dude.
It's like you're not listening. It's like you didn't see Rogue One. Do you remember the hallway scene where he had the red saber? I didn't either. Did you see the hallway scene where Vader was supposed to finally
he should have been. We've had this fight. You should have been out on the beach killing everybody.
Wait a minute. He had the saber. He was killing people, blocking lasers and shit.
Yeah.
That is supposed to be his time to shine. That fails compared to Episode 1 Darth Maul scene. It fails.
Well, because they did it in a reshoot. They did it in a reshoot quickly to try and be like, oh, well, I guess he's here.
However they did it, Darth Maul is way more epic in Star Wars than Darth Vader. Episode 1, Darth Maul was a terror. When he hopped off that speeder in the desert, Anakin, get down. And he was just fighting. And then he was like, hurry up. He jumped on the ship. He was out of gas. Qui-Gon.
Dude.
Master, who's that? I don't know who it was.
But
he's trained in the Jedi. He's trained in the dark
Vader
side.
over Darth Maul is a great supporting character. He was badass. No choice. I would pick Vader in a heartbeat over Darth Maul. Always.
Why? What gives
just
you?
He's more iconic. I agree. But my point is, because I believe he's more of a threat. Darth Maul would bow down to him. That's why he doesn't need to do jujitsu to get anyone's attention. Darth Vader is a threat.
Darth Vader is a slow robot. Maul will slice him up into a million pieces and sell him for scraps. Darth Vader can't fade Darth Maul. Are you kidding me? That slow robotic
dude.
Trash.
You are giving it. You're being unfair because it's a product of its time.
What the films gave me, Andy.
No,
what do you have?
It's because of a product of its time. I don't agree with you at all.
Rogue One came out in 2000.
Have you played? I've played parts of the game where you can be Vader on the battlefield. Star Wars has never taken advantage of Vader and his full capability. I agree. I want to see that. But my point is, my imagination gives it enough that I know he would toast Darth Maul. He would toast Darth Maul. Dude,
admit that.
Obi-Wan toasted Darth Maul. Come on, dude. What are you talking about? He got lucky. Obi-Wan toasted him. You don't think Vader is going to do with his force powers?
Kick down that hole.
Come on. Dude, Anakin Skywalker also would toast him.
Don't leave. I got you. Darth Maul was playing with him as he was dangling for his life in that silo. If Qui-Gon's lightsaber wasn't there, he would have been dead.
Oh, but what? But it wasn't. He got him, didn't he?
No, it was. He hit him with a juke move, but he lost the fight.
You are impossible to beat. You'll never.
Did he not lose the fight?
Dude, Vader 100 times better than Maul. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Of us boxing, and I knock you out 5 times,
dude.
And then
Vader's in charge. Maul would bow down to Vader in a heartbeat. You're denying that?
Who?
Maul would bow down to Vader. Are you telling me he wouldn't?
Reverse.
Who wins?
And then I agree.
Who wins? Honestly, in the power struggle there, you think Darth Maul's like, no, wait, Vader, I'm coming again with my kung fu Ray Park moves. Come on, dude. He would respect the hell out of Vader.
Are you asking me an honest question? Is that an honest question?
Yeah.
2 answers to that. There's Star Wars bullshit, what they would do, and then there's what would really happen based off what we've seen them do. What Star Wars would do, he would choke Darth Maul and throw him 50 feet in the air and then wreck him, and then Darth Maul would crawl and suck his metal cock from under his black cloak.
Jesus.
That's what Star Wars would do.
K-Dots, can you put up a poll, Vader or Maul? Vader or Maul poll, I'm curious.
Maul is gonna destroy Darth Vader because Darth Vader is trash with a lightsaber.
How about all right? So Anakin Skywalker, Return of the Sith, Return of Sith Skywalker, or Darth Maul.
I got Anakin.
Okay, Darth Vader is Anakin. We just saw him older.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Stop it.
Yes, he is.
He got slow in that robot suit. He couldn't walk.
Because he's old, Jody. We never got to see him after Sith. We never got to see him after Sith.
Yes, you saw him in episode 3. You saw how slow he got out of that.
Have you not? So you haven't played the game?
No, I felt her. She was alive.
Because David Prowess. Because David Prowess is in the suit, and they changed it later. He's like an old Englishman. If you're watching, he's like, I'm talking like this, and they changed it.
I don't care. I go by what I saw with my eyes. Nothing you tell me means anything. I saw it.
Nothing.
I saw him
can we get that
like a robot.
Can we get that pulled? Nothing you tell me means anything, because I feel that way all the time when I talk to Jody.
If I see it with my eyes, nothing you could say could change my mind.
All right, Jody, let's put the poll out there. Can someone put the poll, Maul or Vader? If I win, you have to take your hat off again and show us your hair without your hat.
Oh, bro, you're gonna win.
Well, you already did it on 2 videos, and I still can't.
Yeah, you're gonna win. What's the last poll say? Let's check it right now.
Did it change? Can someone put? Is there nobody who can do the poll? Did K-Dots leave? Is he the only one who knows how to do it?
48.
How do I do this poll? Can I do it? Hold on, I guess I can do it quick.
Unbelievable. Vader, of course, Darth Maul is
so you don't even want to do it. You don't even want to do the poll.
No, there's no point. I concede. You're asking these motherfuckers? Are you asking them?
Yeah.
Yeah, please, don't even bother. Vader for the win. What are we talking about here? I thought we were talking about real shit.
Well, you're fighting for Darth Maul, saying he's better.
He is better, bro, and I've gave evidence and precedence of actual film footage of why he's better. But Darth Vader does have that cool mask, the awesome voice, and the great cape. So let's give it to Vader. He does choke people with the Force. That's pretty cool.
Okay, there's the poll. There we go. I got it. I did it myself.
Please.
Okay, I voted.
Bro, I'm about to vote for Vader.
All right, we were going off. So you're like Yash. What was that? What was the whole point of that, Jody?
I'm never like Yash. Never like Yash.
Jesus Christ.
I'll never be like
Oh my
that.
God. All right. Well, I'm going to cut the YouTube video here. I'm going to talk a little bit more. We're going to hang a little bit more live. If you haven't watched us Tuesday live, it goes off the rails. It goes off the rails. We're going to cut. But yeah, before we go, I'll show you this poll result. But we're gonna hang a little bit longer, and then we're going to go over to Twitch. But if you guys aren't watching every Tuesday, 9 o'clock live, you got to come join us for the party. Get involved. It gets spicy in here. I love it. Jody, my man, go subscribe to Jody's Corner. Subscribe here. Thank you guys so much for watching on the YouTube playback. We will still be live, but I got to trim it for the algorithm, otherwise they suck. This is already too long, but I can tell this is going to keep going for a while. But we got more to talk about, more to argue. Thank you for all the support donations. And before we go, here was the results. It is Vader. Now that's the poll you thought the other one was going to be about. It's about 78-22. It's a Vader all day long, bro. Come on, it's still coming in. It's not going to change.
I knew that.
Vader all the way. Vader all the way. Thank you for watching here on YouTube. We're hanging live.
Is the most iconic character, bro.
Yeah, duh. I'm glad to hear you say that. All right, but in the meanwhile, thanks for watching us on the playback. Come by. Why don't you watch us live? Jody's Corner tomorrow, Wednesdays, every day, baby. Tuesday, Thursday here, 9 o'clock. Bam! Oh wait, it's supposed to be like this. Bam! That didn't work either. Just